and didn't quit. Although I'm sure she was tempted many times to actually go into retirement while I was working on all of this. And she even stays Monday night till about 9:30 to help me put together all the luncheon meats and everything for sandwiches. I appreciate everything that she's done to help get this thing on the road. As I told you yesterday, a lot of what we're doing today is, hope this doesn't keep flicking the whole time. A lot of what we're doing today is based on work that kind of got started in 2000 or so, in putting together and editing a volume of molecular biology of the cell on neurons and with methods and applications for cell biology. So mainly, how do you study neurons in culture? There have been many other books on neuronal culture systems, but this one covered a variety of different systems, several of which you're hearing about today. And the idea was that we would take these morning talks to talk about some of the applications of the culture system to various questions people have in cell molecular areas. And then the afternoon sessions, the workshops, are actually really hands-on experience in doing this. So these are the speakers for this morning: Phil Fox, myself, Lubna Tadamuni, and Soham Chanda. And just to give you a little bit of background on them, Phil Fox is a postdoctoral fellow in the lab of Tim Stasevich in biochemistry and molecular biology. He received his bachelor's degree from Montana State University in plant biotechnology. Did you work on plant neurons? And then he worked 2 years as a technician in the Department of Veterinary Molecular Biology at MSU before starting his PhD at CSU with Mike Tamkin in the Department of Biomedical Sciences. And his presentation today stems mostly from his doctoral work using rodent hippocampal neurons and is entitled Primary Neuronal Cultures from Rodent Brain for Live Cell Imaging and Protein Trafficking. The second speaker needs no introduction. A lot of my students believe that I probably came here in time to help set up the foundations of Old Main, which was finished about 1880. They were about a century off. I wasn't here for the Old Main building, nor was I here for the fire that burned down Old Main in 1970 as part of the Vietnam War protests that were going on campus. But I did arrive a year later, so I've been here since 1971. And I'm currently a professor emeritus in the Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. I'm also one of the founders and initial directors of the MCIN program. I was a founding member of the CMB program. I was a founding member of the School of Biomedical Engineering. I founded a lot of things and have been heavily involved in educational aspects here. And one of the main areas of our research actually stemmed from work that I did on my first sabbatical leave in Cambridge, England, where I discovered the first member of the family of proteins called the ADF cofilin proteins. And we've continued to study those to this day, starting out studying their roles in neuronal development, and then as I've gotten older, their roles in neurodegeneration. I don't know why I switched. One of my proudest accomplishments is the training of graduate students, and this sweet one, Lubna Tatamuni, is an associate professor and immediate past chair of her Department of Biology and Biotechnology at Hashemite University in Zarqa, Jordan. Lubna received her BS and MSc degrees in biology from the University of Jordan, and as I said, her PhD degree here, working with me in the early 2000s. She went back to a faculty position and rose up through the ranks, and as I say, served as chair of her department actually for 2 different terms, just finishing her last one. I'm pleased to say that she's here now on a 2-year appointment in the department as a senior visiting professor and senior scholar position in the department. So she'll be here for a couple of years. So any of you want to come and bug her, like she bugs me, feel free to do it. Finally, finally, I have to show the picture. Everybody's seen this if you've ever seen Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade. This is in Petra, Georgia. So I'm Chanda, our newest assistant professor. Well, in a couple of weeks, he won't be our newest assistant professor, but right now he's our newest assistant professor in the Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. Soam came to us from Stanford, where he was a postdoc in the Wernig and Sudoff laboratories since about 2011, I guess, went there. He received his bachelor's degree and his bachelor's degree in microbiology from the University of Calcutta in India. And he went to sunny Buffalo, from which he received his master's in biological sciences and his PhD in neurosciences, studying various aspects of synaptic plasticity. And then he joined us in January of this last year. He came from Stanford, but originally he came from Calcutta, or Kolkata, as it's in India. And this is a picture I came across online of a very colorful marketplace in Kolkata. So without further ado, we're going to start the session, and there will be some references posted online for the various speakers for this morning's session.